I still remember the day like it was yesterday. I was sitting in my little cubicle, minding my own business, working away, when the phone rang. HR wanted to see me in their office, and I knew what was coming. Hey friends, I'm Angie. In today's video, I'm sharing my personal layoff story and how that unexpected twist became the start of a brand new chapter working for myself. By staying open to learning and trying new things, I discovered that it is possible to build a fulfilling, self-sufficient life outside the 9 to 5. And stick around because I'm also going to share 5 actionable tips to help you navigate life after a layoff and start building your own version of success, especially if you're creative and open to exploring something new. This could be the fresh start you didn't know you needed. Okay, back to my story. A few months earlier, my manager had been laid off out of the blue. And since that happened, I had to now report to the IT manager who really didn't have much of a clue what I was doing. So basically, I was floating around without a clear role. I was the web developer and designer for this internal experiment, helping Catholic parishes manage their websites. But it always felt a bit unstable. However, I had been with the company for a while, and I had managed to survive their annual layoffs so far, so I thought maybe I'd be okay. I walked into HR thinking worst case scenario, they're going to transfer me. Nope. They were restructuring the company, which, let's be honest, usually means getting rid of the older employees and hiring younger ones at half the salary. So I was out, but not immediately. They threw me a cookie and offered to work 3 more months in the warehouse during holiday sales with a 20% pay cut. Yay. Didn't exactly feel like a win, but I had no choice. I had to take it. And I hated it. The vibe was miserable. My boss and I had a rocky history. Let's just say he was a typical boss hole. Everyone around me hated their jobs too. It was like being stuck in a cloud of low morale. So when my time ended, deep down, I was relieved, but also a little scared. I was 49 and a half, unemployed, unhirable in my field. At least that's how I felt. And I was a single mom. My youngest had just turned 18 and was still living with me. I received unemployment benefits, thank goodness, but I knew it wouldn't last, and I liquidated some assets. I'd also been designing book covers freelance for authors since 1999, so I leaned into that again pretty heavy, but I needed some more. So I dusted off this Etsy shop I had opened years ago, but never used. And I started creating digital clip art. But it was such a crowded market, I knew I had to pivot. And that's when I discovered print on demand. So I tried my hand at t-shirts and sweatshirts with phrases and designs. But again, There was just way too much competition. Then I had a friend ask me if I could illustrate her puppy on a sweatshirt. And I said yes. And she loved it. So I created a listing to put on Etsy. And a few weeks later, I started getting orders. Custom pet shirts were still a hidden gem at that time, and I managed to tap into it. That year, I made almost as much as I did before getting laid off. And I want to just take a moment and say that I am not trying to sound braggy at all, because none of this was easy. I had sent my resume to dozens of places with no luck. Nobody wanted to hire me. And I'm sure it was because I was too old, because I had experience. So I felt unhirable. And then I went into survival mode. And when that happens, when you really have no other choice, you take these bold chances that otherwise you would never do. Over the next few years, I found ways to expand my business. I launched more Etsy shops, selling digital planners, calendars, journals. I designed websites for other people. I did a bunch of stuff. And here I am, more than 9 years later, still self-employed, still learning, still trying out new things, putting my eggs in several baskets. It has not been easy at all. But over time, I've managed to build something sustainable, something creative, and something that feels like me. Now, I know I'll never, ever go back to the corporate life. I love the freedom, the flexibility, and the ability to follow my own path. If you've been laid off later in life, or if you're worried it might happen, here are a few things I've learned. Number 1, don't see it as the end. See this as a fresh chapter in your life. Your job isn't your identity. You are so much more. 2, grow your mindset. Instead of mourning what you lost, start imagining what you could build. There's opportunity all around, especially online. 3, know your numbers. What is the bare minimum you need to get by? If you have savings, great. If not, what can you sell, repurpose, or tap into? 4, become a lifelong learner. Since being laid off, I have become somewhat of a research junkie, and I've tried so many things. Learning something new keeps your mind sharp, and it opens doors that you wouldn't even know about before. 5, that dream you've pushed aside for years, this might be the moment to try it. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just take one step towards something that lights you up. Be curious. Be open. You never know where it could lead. If you've made it this far, thank you. I'm rooting for you because your story isn't over. It's just beginning. Drop a comment below if you have been through a layoff. Let me know what you've learned or what you're dreaming of starting next. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I would so appreciate it. Remember, we've got this. You've got this. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.